Good afternoon, Patriots. This is my debut, and on this special occasion, we're going to be talking a little bit about hypocrisy from the left. Just a little hypocrisy from the liberal side of the aisle. That's nothing new. At least I don't think it is. With the No Kings rallies, protests, marches, whatever this clown foolery, ass hattery is. Last time I checked, there hasn't been a king in the United States of America for 249 years. And there isn't one now. There wasn't one the day after the protest over the summer. There wasn't one the day after the protest over the weekend. And I don't think there's going to be one anytime soon. And I don't think Donald Trump wants to be king. Let's get into that a little bit. So, what's he being accused of? He's being accused of tyrannical behavior, or how he carries out the law and policy, and how he runs the country. Seems like he's trying to preserve the Union to me. You know who else tried and successfully preserved the Union? President Abraham Lincoln. Now, the left doesn't like it when we compare Donald Trump to President Abraham Lincoln. They don't like that at all. They don't like it when you compare him to anybody that has any type of good moral stature or accomplishments. Because history books show President Lincoln as a hero. He saved the Union from being separated and destroyed. But then, on that same token, why would the left want to petition or protest or call for the removal of various Lincoln monuments and memorials? Specifically the one in Chicago. Why are they calling for those to be removed or destroyed? Did he not free the slaves? Not he. He didn't go around with a key and unlock all the chains and untie the ropes. I know that. But was the war that he prosecuted not the vehicle that ultimately ensured that the Emancipation Proclamation would be fulfilled and carried out? It took a war to do that. And 360,000 dead Union soldiers. But Donald Trump's tyrannical. Do you know what happened in the beginning of the Civil War? The American Civil War in the 1860s? President Lincoln had Union soldiers march into Baltimore and Annapolis, Maryland, to arrest all of the government officials that were in support of seceding from the Union to fight for the South. He gathered them all up and had them arrested and had them thrown in jail for the duration of the war without trial, suspending habeas corpus. Maryland was full of Southern sympathizers at the time. A lot of those people went south to fight in Virginia. There were still intact Maryland units. There was a Maryland Union and Maryland Confederate engagement at the battles of Gettysburg. Not to get off on a side note, but he threw him in jail for the duration of the war and let him out when it was over. Unconstitutional. There are some critics that look back and say that that was wrong. But overall, a lot of people regard it as a necessary evil that needed to take place, because if you look at D.C. on a map strategically, they would have been cooked. They would have been surrounded by Maryland and Virginia, and they would have been cooked. That would have been it. It would have been a wrap. It would have been over before it started. In the beginning of the war, the Union Army was grossly incompetent and unorganized. But Trump's the tyrant. Why isn't Trump going around arresting all these governors and mayors? The mayor of Chicago. Gavin Newsom, the mayor of Portland. I don't know all these names. Why isn't he suspending habeas corpus and throwing all of his political enemies in jail? They're threatening the Union. They are a threat to the United States of America. Another little tidbit of hypocrisy is recently, in the not too distant past, we've heard various talking heads and politicians from the left, even Tampon Tim, being asked, "What is a woman?" So you mean to tell me, and this is so rich, that the party that struggles to define what a woman is suddenly has the ability to give us a clear definition of what a king is? Does anyone else see the problem with that? I don't know, maybe it's me. So leave something in the comments if you think that I'm off on this or anything. Anyway, thanks for your time and attention, and stay tuned for a lot more of this, because I'm never going to shut the fuck up. Stay safe and stay dangerous.